Okay, hopefully we're back in action here. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, hopefully we're back up. I see we are. So a little technical difficulty there. I had to adjust something, but right away we saw Moses. We're here in qualifying. Moses jumped to provisional pole, but quickly loses that to Prieto and Juan Monroy with 57. That might be a lap bracket here in GT2, right to pole. So great job by Monroy. Alex White in P2.
Yeah, both Juan Monroy and teammate Andres Prieto showing great pace in practice. I'm wondering about that 58.2 by Chris Moses. You'd think that would be a fuel lap, however, since it was turned in practice. However, another 58.2 here. The lap looked clean to me when I was on board with them, Al.
With Alex White, current championship leader. Ooh, he's got McLaren up ahead, and that's really going to slow him down. He's going to have to probably back out of that one. Not quite sure who that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure either, but what I am sure of is that Alex White here is in second place early, of course, but Alex White carrying quite a bit of success ballast here tonight, 154 pounds, which, if I'm not mistaken, translates into 70 kilos.
Regardless, it's a tremendous amount of weight, and that's what happens when you win. But we're on board now with David Poole. The McLarens are looking pretty quick in practice. Both David Poole and both the Kung Fu Racing boys, Ian Jolicoeur and Marty Aren, both looking pretty racy in practice. Let's see if how they do here in the qualifying session.
Yeah, indeed, the McLarens.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the McLarens have been looking very good indeed.
David Poole does not improve, remains P5. Laurent Vassman on track here. The French connection, Vassman and Kevin Savoie. Not sure if Savoie is here tonight. Savoie with a rough night last week. As Vassman's on a outlap.
Yeah, Kevin Savoie is here. Sorry, Al, I scrolled down to see if he was in the house, and indeed he has made it here.
On board Esteban Palacio, currently running P12. So he was up behind quite a bit in that second sector split time as he's about to cross the line here. And does not improve, so Palacio remains P12.
Yeah, no doubt Esteban will hit a better lap. I don't know that Jag is going to be tremendously well suited to the track here, but no doubt Esteban can pick up a little bit more speed from there.
Well, John Sportelli substituting for Thomas Schubeck, who's after that tremendous run Schubeck had last week, his best ever finish in NAGP with a 7th. Things got a little out of hand in the post-race party, and well, he's not going to be here tonight. So Sportelli substituting for Schubeck. We expect Schubeck to be back in good shape next week.
I would think so. Of course, subbing for PMR here tonight.
Sportelli about to cross the line here. He's about a second and change off, and Sporto does not improve. Yeah, Triana about to start a hot lap. Rodrigo had a great race last week.
There we go. There's a Chris Moses lap, Al. Going to P1 here with a 57.4.
So really putting the hammer down. Moses just over 5/10 quicker than Prieto at the moment. Prieto out on his outlap. Monroy as well. Both Team Columbia running 2 and 3 at the moment. Marty Ren in the McLaren jumps up to P4.
Yeah, Andres Prieto there in P2 is carrying a little bit of success ballast himself, a full 40 kilos.
So Alex White definitely going to be suffering the effects of that weight. How will the weight affect that car, especially at a track like this where you really got to carry a lot of momentum through these corners?
Well, you know, the Z4 is very well balanced. Ordinarily, I would say that tire wear would be a big concern. If it was like Chris Moses's Mercedes, the front tires, or Andres Prieto's Gumpert on the rear. However, it will have an effect on the tires, and most likely the fronts in Alex White's case. So understeer is going to be a concern for quite a few of these guys here tonight. Otherwise, the weight is just going to slow them down a little bit coming off the corner.
We saw White jump up to P3, so weight's affected him a bit, but not all that much. Still puts down a great lap.
You know, I would be surprised if he were to advance much past that time, maybe a little bit. We know Alex White is a great qualifier, but, you know, we have seen him drop back a little bit from that qualifying pace during the race. Magny Cours was an example when he does have it. So race pace may not be quite as good as his qualifying pace.
Parsons does not improve, a bit off in that Audi. He's currently P7. Are you surprised by Parsons' qualifying performance this season?
I am, and it has to be said honestly, Aaron Parsons not always, he has not been what you could call the best qualifier in NAGP history. You can certainly call him the best racer in NAGP history. A lot of that does have to do with the kind of cars that he typically likes to drive, not always great qualifiers. Yeah, overall a little disappointing, I would say, not only during the race, though of course he has had a couple good finishes, but also in the qualifying, sure.
He did win at Magny Cours.
Yeah, a thrilling victory there at Magny Cours. Only picked up 14 points there at Fuji, which translates into, what, 5th, 6th place? But still in all a pretty good run there in those conditions.
So we saw Parsons get bumped down to P8. It looks like David Poole has jumped up to P6. Jaime Moore running well, currently P9 in the Porsche. Yeah, going back to Parsons, that Magny Cours race, another race where he didn't qualify all that well. He was in the top 10, I believe, but really had a strong race. Obviously, ended up finishing, winning the race. Moore behind second and a half there in that second split. Looking further back, Vassman put a little too much power down, lose the rear end. He's on his outlap.
Had a chance to talk with Laurent a little bit, what they thought their chances might be tonight. Laurent had not had much practice on this track, but we know that Porsche should do pretty well around this place. Not too surprising to see Laurent up there around the top 10.
Palacio jumps up to P9, so Palacio, good qualifying session in that Jag. His teammate Monahan P12, Sportelli up to 13th, Triana 14th. David Rowley finished second last week, 1-2 finish for WWRL7. However, he is way off the pace so far here at Brno, currently P16, carrying a little bit of weight, but nowhere near the amount of weight his teammates carrying. But still, I'm sure Rowley will put it together soon enough here as the session winds down. Currently 12 minutes left to go.
Yeah, well, may give Team Columbia a glimmer of hope with those WWRL7 guys out front here tonight if they can surpass both Alex White and David Rowley for those points.
Savoie lurking back in 18th. Expect him to be up near the front by the time this session ends. Having a tough go of it so far here early on in qualifying. We just saw him lose the car. Mike Tressler currently P20. and the Corvette. Mike also had a great run last week at Fuji. Mike about to complete a lap here at Brno. I take that back. He brings it into the pit lane. Johnny Lugnutt's currently P21. Kevin Miller in the Aston currently running 22nd. Let's see where he is after the second split. Meanwhile, Andres Prieto has jumped up to the top of the timesheet here with a 57.3, edging out Chris Moses by about a tenth.
Yeah, nice lap for Andres Prieto, and I'm looking through timing and scoring here, and though there is about 2 seconds separating first to 20th, you know, that's not really too bad considering the length of the track. Got almost 2 minutes around this place, so a couple seconds between first and 20th, not too shabby.
Miller quite a bit off in this qualifying lap. Miller does not improve. John Houston currently 23rd on an outlap, so Houston filling in for the absent Jack Ivey last week in the broadcast. Gotta hand it to John. Did a great job, him and Ken Rodriguez. So thanks to those guys thanks to John for filling in for Jack.
Yeah, thank you so much. The broadcasting is pretty important to the community, and so John stepping up and filling in for Jack was great, and great job, Ken. So a good duo, and of course Alex White filled in a little bit with those guys as well. So fun time.
Absolutely, almost forgot about that. Matt Taylor currently 24th in the Viper. Greg Myers back in 25th. Dan Wilkerson 26th as they run. Ryan Story currently 27th. Lou Mascarelli running 28th. Lou back after missing last week, I believe. John Wathan 29th. Mike Greaturk's back in P30 in the Ferrari, mixing it up with one of the Comforts there. As Greatrix is on a lap, I'm not sure what was going on there, but guys got to give themselves some bit of a gap here if they want to get a clean run in. Never understood that, but well, Ken Rodriguez running 31st in the other 458. It's a sharp-looking paint scheme on that Ferrari.
Indeed, Al.
AJ Balin 32nd, currently out on a hot lap. Outlet, sorry. Krishna Khalili. He should be in the pit lane for a no-qual. CC will see that and deal with it appropriately next week. Jack Ivey in the pit lane serving his penalty. So back out front, Prieto back at it. So one of the McLarens lets him by.
Yeah, Andres Prieto, good 3/10 up over second place Chris Moses through the second sector by about 3/10, so that 3.5 tenths. Gave up quite a bit of time, did Andres Prieto, in the last sector, so there may be a bit more there for him.
As we ride along with Andre, he's got some traffic up ahead. It should not pose a problem. Let's see where he is. In the split time, he's behind a tenth, even. Looked a little shaky coming out of that chicane.
Yeah, I missed that one, Al, but it's really easy to get shaky coming out of there for sure.
See if he's able to improve.
He did come off the last corner very cleanly, though.
He lost a bunch of time in the back. Does not improve. Chris Moses he's on an outlap. Alex White remains P3.
Yeah, Alex White remains P3. David Poole, however, is in P7 at the moment with a 58.2. So we saw the practice times, David Poole, around a 58 flat, if I'm not mistaken. So not sure what is going on exactly there. But, you know, this is a very difficult track to drive at the limit. It's hard to put all these three sectors together on this track. A small mistake will cost you a bunch of time. So really easy to overdrive the car on entry.
Well, Monroy currently in fourth. Got to give Monroy a lot of credit. He's brought it back in, but going back to Monroy, he's really upped his game. Qualified third last week at Fuji. Did have a technical problem. Was out after the start of the race, but looks like he's getting a handle of that comfort and running well in that car.
Yeah, and I think the car does suit him nicely. And of course, the Gumpert is a good performer around here. We see teammate Andres Prieto with those 40 kilos up at the top. So, I would say, however, if I was Juan Monroy's teammate, well, what are you doing behind Alex White? You don't have any weight. Get up there, buddy.
Laying the gauntlet. So a lot of these guys on outlaps. Vassman, however, is not. He's on a hot flyer. He's right along with him. He's way behind in sector 1. Currently P11. And off into the weeds.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes to go here, Al. So we're rapidly closing down on our last lap.
Sportelli's improved one spot up to 12th.
Yeah, riding along onboard Kevin Savoie now, I would say that it wouldn't surprise me to see Kevin Savoie only having 2 timed laps and not very good ones. It wouldn't surprise me if this one was up in toward the top 5.
Sportelli losing a bunch of time in that second middle part of the track. Sportelli's job is just to score as many points as he can tonight for PMR, Precision Motor Racing, as they lie 4th in the championship. Sportelli does not improve. So Savoie, you mentioned him. He's back in 20th. Does have some traffic up ahead. Three to go here in qualifying at Brno.
Yeah, we're coming down to it now. These guys are on their last laps, hoping that they get a little bit of clear track for that final run.
Ooh, Savoie takes it off. He's really struggling through that one particular part of the track. He's had a couple mistakes there, but lost a bunch of time. Let's go back out front. On board with Prieto, trying to improve on his session leading time. It's going to be tough to do with all that traffic up ahead. Not going to happen right now for Prieto. He's going to have to back off and give himself some space, which he's doing.
To finish up on that Kevin Savoie lap, Kevin Savoie clocked in with a 158.6, good enough for P10.
So even with that huge mistake, he ends up 10th. So he should have time to get another one back in. Monroy following his teammate. Off half a second after that second split time.
Yeah, and Alex White is into the pits, Al. I think he's made the best lap he knows he can make, so he is going to do no better than P3.
Can Monroy improve? He does. He bumps Alex White, takes P3. Great job, Monroy.
There you go. Good job, Juan.
So, Chris Moses now looking to improve and snatch pole away from Prieto. Moses finished third last week, so he's carrying a tiny bit of weight going into tonight's race.
Yeah, through the first split, excuse me, Andres Prieto just 4 1/1000ths off. Oh, but runs it wide, going into 5, and that is going to end his qualifying run here. Andres Prieto is at P1, but will Chris Moses do any better?
Moses 3/10 off in that second split. The Mercedes is good here. This last half of the track.
Yeah, butchered the last corner, Al.
He certainly did. Does not improve. Remains second. Joe LaCour, he ain't going to be able to get it in. Jaime Moore may have a shot. Conti, let's see if he can get it in. He's the closest guy. As he approaches the line, will he make it in time? He does, but does not improve.
John Sportelli has a shot to get the one last timed lap in here.
I don't think it's going to happen for old Sporto. Oh, he does, but doesn't improve. Wow, just got it in there. It's good timing on Sportelli. Well, there you have it. Our qualifying session is done. Andres Prieto out front. Snatching pole by with a 157.3, 24, just over a tenth up on Chris Moses, who took second, and Juan Monroy third. So
yeah, the Gumpert's all but ruling the qualifying session here, starting first and third. So a good start here for Team Columbia early.
So we're off to quali 2. These guys will now. We'll wait here, see if a couple of guys. I believe we had one person drop during this qualifying session, but well, we got a few moments here. Phil Hooks jumps in. Let's take a look at the standings thus far after 3 rounds here in GT2. Alex White leading the Drivers' Championship with 73 points, 18 points up on Prieto, who's got 55. Chris Moses third with 47. Aaron Parsons fourth with 46, and David Poole fifth with 35. In the Team Championship, WWRL7, after their big week last week, finishing 1 and 2, Dave Rowley and Alex White lead with 93 points. Team Columbia, that's Monroy and Prieto, they're second with 80 points. T-Brock Dan Bam GT2, Aaron Parsons and John Houston are third with 64. Precision Motor Racing, Thomas Schubeck and Chris Moses with 63. And 05 Motorsports, David Poole and Salem Montgomery Jr. fifth with 53 points. I do not see Salem here this evening, so I'm not sure if he's going to make it or not.
Yeah, interesting. You should note that. And I'm going to look one down the list there at the Kung Fu Racing Boys. They are in 6th with 43 points. However, both made very good qualifying positions here tonight. Those would, of course, be Ian Jolicoeur in 5th and Marty Urin in 6th. So they have the opportunity, always dangerous drivers, particularly when they both finish well, to have a chance to pick up some nice team points here tonight.
As we take a look at the competition index standings after 3 rounds, this prize goes to the person who completes the most distance in a season. So right now we have a 4-way tie with Alex White, Prieto, Chris Moses, and David Poole all completing every lap so far this season. 751.2 kilometers so far, distance traveled.
Well, got a few more kilometers to go here, Al, but I tell you, I don't mind watching them because the kilometers, those 700 some odd you mentioned, have been pretty damn fantastic so far.
145 total laps. So if you just joined us, you're watching GT2 action from Brno in the Czech Republic. We have moved over to the warm-up where it is raining and wet. So I'm sure these guys are hoping for a dry race after last week's run at Fuji. But that may change.
Yeah, this place is not particularly fun in the wet. I'm trying to block memories of my own moments here in Season 4 on this track in the wet. So I hope these guys make the most of this very short warm-up session to get a feel of what kind of conditions are possible should we get the wet stuff in the race.
Well, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we have only run here one time in the past. That was in 2011. However, our last race here in GT1 was, I believe, 1 or 2 seasons ago, and it was a nail biter. I mean, that was a race where I don't think positions changed through the entire race, if I recall. I mean, I personally started 15th and drove an absolute perfect race, and I think I finished 15th. And that was the same. And Parsons, I think, finished 1 or 2 spots ahead of me, and he's a much faster driver than I am, but he couldn't make up any positions in that race. So we'll see how this race shapes up here tonight. If it's going to be more of the same. Made for some great battles, though.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a track that you can drive pretty consistently if you kind of keep your head on a swivel in terms of what the tires are doing underneath you, because they will wear, the lap times will drop, but you can still run the track pretty consistently, pretty clean. I do remember that last race we had here. It was a pretty fun time in that GT1 action, and the positions may not have changed, but there was a lot of close battles for those positions.
Not mistaken, Tiago Canola ran away with it in the Ford GT. But he is not here tonight to run away with anything, so...
That's right.
Or else he'd be the guy we may be talking about going into tonight's race, but that's not the case, so...
Well, we won't have we won't have him to talk too much about, but we've got a whole bunch of other guys to talk about, and again, like last week, it's the usual cast of characters toward the front, maybe with the exception of Juan Monroy inserting himself into another great qualifying position there. And it's going to be really important for Juan Monroy to get ahead of Alex White here on the start. Alex White, of course, is thinking just the opposite. He would like to get in front of Juan. I would have to think Alex figures Juan to have slightly better pace over the course of the entire race. So we'll see how that battle unfolds, and it's going to unfold right away.
John Sportelli, do you copy?
I do.
Brad and Al here in the broadcast booth. Decent qualifying run for you there, sitting in for Schubeck. How you handling the Mercedes here around Brno?
It's a pig, but thanks for asking.
Well, I know it's probably a short warm-up period for you to get enough laps in the car to get comfortable, but do you feel like you might be able to gain a little bit of pace as the race goes on, as you kind of work back into the circuit and the car?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm for qualifying, but I can move up.
What's your goal tonight?
Help Chris any way I can.
Well, that's a good goal to have there, Sporto, and good luck tonight, and have a good race.
Thanks, guys. As always, you do a great job in the broadcast. Appreciate it.
Good luck, John.
Well, there you have it, Sportelli. Shooting straight with us.
as usual, shooting straight Sporto. Maybe we can add that moniker. But yeah, John knows track, that's for sure. Having many GT1 laps around this place, so he will find his groove, no doubt, and pick up a few spots.
Well, one thing really noticing early on here is Marty Uran appears to be having some connection issues, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, that'd be too bad. We've certainly seen it in the past, and it would be unfortunate for that team. Those guys have both qualified well, and I think could do some real damage here tonight, but hopefully not of the sheet metal kind.
Well, this qualifying warm-up session has come to an end here. About to go to the race. We expect this max distance here is 30 laps, and the chance for rain here is average at best. So should expect a dry race. However, it is rainy and wet at the moment, but we'll see how that turns out once we switch over.
Wouldn't be surprised to see 110-degree track temp there, Al.
So last time we ran here, this race did go 30 laps. Total race time was 1 hour, 1 minute, 43 seconds. And it is dry, 94-degree track temp, 82-degree ambient. So perfect conditions for these guys. And
great, here we go.
Let's get this rundown underway. Starting from pole, Andres Prieto second, Chris Bozes, Juan Monroy third, fourth Alex White, Ian Jolicoeur will start fifth.
Marty Urin takes sixth, David Poole starts seventh, Aaron Parsons is in eighth, Esteban Palacio starts ninth, Kevin Savoie takes 10th.
Jaime Moore starting 11th, Laurent Vassman 12th, John Sportelli 13th, Rodrigo Triana 14th, and David Rowley back in 15th.
Mike Monahan starts 16th, Marco Conti starts 17th, Mike Tressler's in 18th, Christian Hamilton in 19th, and Felipe Triana rounds out the top 20.
John Houston 21st, Johnny Lugnut's 22nd, Kevin Miller running 23rd, Matt Taylor 24th, and Greg Myers 25th.
Dan Wilkerson starts 26th, Brian Story starts 27th, 28th, Lou Mascarelli, John Wathen takes 29th, and Mike Greetrex is in 30th.
31st, Ken Rodriguez, AJ Balin 32nd, Phil Hooks 33rd, Krishna Khalili 34th, and Jack Ivey bringing up the rear in 35th. Those are your runners here tonight, 35 drivers on track. Where is we've seen some incidents going through turn one in the past here, but usually most guys get by okay. Gets a little dicey when they start getting too wide through that first corner, but one place we really should keep an eye on is turn 6, that first tight hairpin. So we'll see how
turn 6 for sure.
See how guys behave through there.
Yeah, turn 1 is actually pretty wide entry with quite a few options, but it narrows up into one lane.
So we're about to go green from Brno. Green flag. As Chris Moses had a really good jump on Prieto, but looks like Prieto's going to hang on to that spot. Alex White looks like he's gotten by Monroy for third early on. So Prieto hanging on to that spot. Moses close, following closely behind. So we approach now turn 6. We'll see how these guys manage to get by. Get through there, I should say.
Well, things look relatively good throughout the field, Al. Alex White picking up that third place is going to be quite a boost for him.
So Waz jumped up to P9. He's improved one spot. His teammate immediately behind him in 10th. So French Connection running 9 and 10. David Poole. He's dropped back to 11. Not the start he was looking for.
Not at all. Starting from the 8th position and dropping back, like you say, to the 11th. Didn't see what happened there, but in any event, work to do.
Further back. Looks like guys are getting through this first lap very cleanly. As Rodriguez runs it a bit wide, he's going to lose a spot to Taylor. Oh, it looks like Hooks and Balin might have gotten together. They're way back.
Yeah, A.J. Balin has gone off track and met a little bit of the Armco. Didn't exactly see what happened there, but otherwise it's been relatively clean.
On board with Mike Trussler going into 1. Trussler's fallen back to 32nd. Ooh, it looks like we have Hamilton's taking it into the wall. And that thing is wrecked. Looks like, ooh, he's got it fired back up. But wow, heavy damage for Hamilton. Didn't see it, saw a lot of smoke, but don't know if he got assisted or not.
Yeah, too bad for Christian. Had a good car for this track. I know was pretty motivated here tonight, but it's going to end in tears, I think, here for him.
On board with White as he hangs on to the back of Moses, who's up to P2. Running where he qualified.
Yeah, and doing a nice job hanging on to Chris Moses. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if Chris Moses does have some tire wear issues here. More so than Alex White over the course of the stint. We did talk about that can have an effect.
White may get a run on Moses here down the straight.
Well, Moses will have the advantage of horsepower, particularly with a little bit less weight.
So all three guys up front carrying ballast. Actually, I take that back. I don't think Prieto is carrying any weight at all.
I think Under's got some weight.
Oh, we'll have to double check that. Meanwhile, Monroy losing touch with White and front three, but he's gapping the guys behind him quite a bit. So right now he's not yet on his own, but losing touch with everybody around him.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the same thing, Al. I was thinking that he might have a little bit better race pace, but so far not so much.
On board with Parsons, displaying a little bit of front end damage to his Audi. I'm not sure if he got into the back of Joe LaCour, who's running in P5.
Yeah, I didn't see where that happened, but Aaron Parsons has picked up a couple spots since the drop of the green flag.
So really putting the pressure on Joe LaCour for this 5th spot. Passing opportunities will come at a premium at this track.
Yeah, they sure will. And Ian Jolicoeur, I don't believe, has had much practice during the week of race. Generally, when he doesn't, he will get stronger as the race goes on. Taking a look through the field a little bit here, and I see Kevin Savoie has also picked up a couple spots, now putting some heat on Jaime Moore over the 7th position. A couple Porsches battle in there.
Big lurch from Parsons, the exit of 15, 14 into 15, so he lost a bit of time to Joe LaCour. Savoie now putting the screws to Jaime Moore, trying to tuck up behind him.
Yeah, and as you watch that battle, we're real quickly going through time and scoring. I have an update as Marty Uren somehow has slipped back to 15th. Don't know what happened there, but Marty Uren being pushed by John Houston for the 15th position.
You mentioned Marty was suffering some issues with his noticeable lag issues, so not sure if somebody got into him or maybe that's what happened with him and Parsons. Maybe Parsons got into his lag car, unfortunately, and knocked him off track.
Very possible, as
Savoie all over the back of Moore. And Poole has joined this fight as well, as Poole, not sure where, Laurent has dropped a few positions, lost the spot to Poole and Palacio.
Who had Rodrigo Triana go into the wall there at turn 4, I believe. Heavy damage to the Porsche.
Was that self-induced trauma?
Wasn't able to see, Al.
Porsches really going at it here early on. Back on board with Savoie. Let's see if he can get a run on Moore. You really see the bumps there in turn 1. You know, Brad talked about it on the onboard, but from that view, it's really displayed.
Yeah, quick update, Al. Matt Taylor, unfortunately, has taken a DNF somewhere out there on track, so Matt Taylor out of Brno.
Tough break for Matt Taylor. Now Palacio has clawed his way up to this fight. And it looks like Moore might be holding these guys up a little bit.
Yeah, Jaime Moore's slipping off the pace, and you think he's going to have to do quite a bit of fighting here if he wants to make it the pit stops in that 7th position.
We mentioned how hard it is to pass here, and Moore keeps running his lines cleanly. It's going to take some work to get by him. As Savoie nearly took it off track. Poole may get a run on him. Has a look on the inside. No, blocks him up.
Yeah, Poole quite a horsepower advantage versus that Porsche.
Uren has now climbed his way up, back up to P12. But Sportelli displaying some damage on his Mercedes. Marco Carney all over the back of Sporto. Let's see if Carney has a run on Sportelli. Ooh, hard on the brakes. Saw a lot of tire smoke there. A couple of Italians. A lot of hand gestures in the windows.
Well, that turn, what is it, 12 and 13 complex is an opportunity to pass, but you have to make sure you know the guy on your outside or inside very well and make sure you both know that you're both there. Yeah, taking a look here toward the top of the standings, Juan Monroy's gap has stabilized now to Alex White, so I think he's starting to get the car and the feel for the track underneath him a little bit, getting a little bit back up on the pace.
So we got groups of battles going on up and down this field as the battle for 14th. Between Houston, Myers, Rally, and Lugnuts. That's raging on here early in this race. Further back, Brian Story. He's got Halili behind him. Ooh, Story nearly throws it off track, hangs on to it. And Kreshnik thought about it, but checked up. It's a good job by Kreshnik. He's got Dan Wilkerson on his tail. Oh, Halili going sideways going into, I believe that's turn 11. So Felipe Triana involved in this mix as well. Rodrigo and Miller. Ratrix and Trussler. Bill Hooks now back in 27th. He had some struggles early on. Mascarelli back in 28th. And Monahan, what happened to Monahan? He's fallen all the way back to 29th with Jack Ivey on his tail. And Rodriguez in 31st. AJ Balin running 32nd. Oh, Hamilton's gotten repaired and he's back on track running 33rd. So good on Christian for sticking with it, getting that car taped back up.
Yeah, break out the 200-mile-an-hour tape and get back out there, do the best you can, for sure.
So back out front, we got Prieto continuing to lead. Moses and White all over the back of Chris Moses. This really hasn't changed since we last watched these guys. The gap separating these three is just about maybe a second and a half.
Yeah, and so far the lap times have remained pretty stable on the front runners. Just now slipping into the high 59s as opposed to the mid 59s. All these guys running about the same times. Yeah, a quick update. Marty Urin has come back up to the 11th position. So, now 10th. I'm sorry, as he is. I think there's a Laurent Bassman timing and scoring issue, but Marty Urin climbing back up.
Parsons has gotten past Joe LaCour. Savoy has lost some time to Moore. Palacio and Connie going at it.
Yeah, sorry, Al. I did see actually Aaron Parsons has picked up the 5th position from Ian Jolicoeur, so that was a battle that lasted 3 or 4 laps. Tong and nail, I guess you could say, and Aaron Parsons has come out on top for now in the 5th position.
wonder what happened to Conti. He was... Oh, there he is. He was running behind Sportelli as Houston looking to make the pass on Myers. I believe he gets it done. Pretty sure Myers was out ahead of Houston there. Picked it up late. Looks like Houston got that pass made on Myers for 16th, the final. I'm sorry, 15th. Myers in the final points paying position. Currently.
Yeah, I think Myers took a little. Yeah, I think Myers took a little wide and had to back off after that agricultural racing. John Houston took advantage. Yeah, I tell you, it's a little interesting to me. Juan Monroy has kept that gap pretty stable, like I said, to Alex White. I'm surprised he hasn't made up a little more ground with Chris Moses and Alex White dueling so close here for these last laps.
On board with Felipe Triana. He's trying to get a run on Kevin Miller in the Aston. Triana in the BMW.
Yeah, so last time by, these guys were all about in the 2-minute flat range toward the front. So these tires are starting to drop off a little bit. Now it's time to really figure out how to take care of them.
So Halili has fallen back to 25th. Oh, we lost somebody. Oh, Rally now. Not sure what happened with Rally, but he finds himself way back in 31st, so he's going to have quite a job to get himself back up into the points paying position. So it's easier said than done, but we'll keep an eye on Rally, see if he can finish this one out.
Well, David Rally's still on the lead lap, so still ground to be made up.
See Monroy behind White inching his way closer to this fight. So it's turning into a top four-way battle.
Indeed it is. Aaron Parsons now running similar lap times, however. So if Aaron and some of these other guys can maintain the gap to those fourth place pit stops, can still play a pretty vital role here. Kevin Savoy now making a move on Jaime Moore for the 7th position.
Taking a look on the inside.
We saw quite a train stacked up behind Jaime Moore there when he was in 7th before, and you know what? Some of those competitors have kind of dropped off the pace, so Jaime Moore doing a great job.
Savoy trying to get it done on the inside. Wow. Side by side. Ooh, they might have touched a little bit. Is Moore going to hang on to it? What a battle he does.
Yeah, get some protracted battles around this place.
That's what Moore wants to be. He's going to have the advantage going into this next corner. But if Savoy can hang on to his outside, nope. Gives it up. What a fight. Holy smokes. Great job of racing by those two.
Yeah, it really was exciting stuff, and I don't think that battle's over.
Ooh, Moore with a lurch. Oh, and he gave it all that. Ooh, it's Savoy almost took it off track himself, but is Moore going to answer? Nope. Wow. Oh, Moore's going to have a look on the inside. Wow, what a fight. All that work by Moore to defend that position, and he just cooked it into that turn 8 or 7.
Yeah, and just about half. Yeah, and in just about half a lap, David Poole is able to eliminate about a 3-second gap. So it was quite a time loss for those guys in that battle.
Now Poole having a look on the inside, looking to put Moore another spot down, but it's like a little bumping and grinding going on. Ooh, Moore taking it off into the weeds. Yeah, you know, that's another thing. This track has David Poole taking a look on the inside. Really, Moore doing a great job here.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this drive, Al. We've seen Jaime Moore a little perhaps anxious in traffic before, but not so far here tonight. Looking very sharp.
But able to run door to door with these guys, and you know, he could very easily shut the door and make things difficult for, or make it a tough night for both guys. But he's doing a great job. But yeah, another thing worth mentioning: this track has a tendency to make passes take several corners to complete. So, which makes it great for us.
Yeah, well, we've noticed exactly that for sure, and well, we think about that some. Andres Prieto now has opened up a bit of a gap over Chris Moses to the tune of nearly 2 seconds now.
So Savoie is starting to gap more once he's gotten by. He's really able to as Moore and Poole door to door. What great battle. And Moore, as Poole gives him a little light show, but not sure why. Oh, as Poole gets into the back of Moore. Oh, and Moore. Oh, that could be terminal for Moore. Yep. Moore loses his front clip, and yeah, that was a bad deal.
Boy, how gutted do you have to be if you're Jaime Moore after such a great start, and really excellent job of driving there.
Yeah, he really did a great job. I'm sure Poole was a bit frustrated he wasn't able to get past, but you got to earn it. It's not going to be given to you. If Moore's doing that great of a job to hang on to that position, you got to give him credit.
Yeah, indeed. Well, speaking of earning it here, Juan Monroy is now clawed up to Alex White, but due mainly to Chris Moses in front of Alex White, who is starting to drop off the pace a little bit, I'd say. So the battle for second place really heating up now. Boy, I'm just taking a look through timing and scoring. John Sportelli has managed to move up to 8th place here somehow in the last couple laps. Not sure how it happened, but he's now in a fight with Esteban Palacio over that 8th position.
So if anybody's watching the broadcast, can you just let me know if it is coming through for you? Are you still seeing pictures and sound, or is it just me?
Yeah, it's fine here, Al.
Okay.
Yeah, we should make mention real quick, too. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on Twitch TV. We sure appreciate it. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you click that follow button, and I'll give you some updates of when we're broadcasting live.
So White with a bit of a moment, allowing Monroy. Monroy had a look there on White.
Boy, I tell you, it's hard. Because I don't want to interrupt that battle too much. It sure is hard when you're fighting a guy so close as Alex White has been, not quite able to make the move. That concentration can lapse pretty easily there. after all that time spent in such a close concentration. Yeah, Andres Prieto last time by a 2-minute .4 second lap.
So this is going to come down to pit stops. These guys going to have to hit their marks. And we've seen Prieto, his performance of late, especially in his pit stops, have been outstanding.
Boy, they sure have. No question about that. He has not missed one here in recent memory. So I'm not sure what he's doing. I'm going to have to find out. I might need some tips and advice from him myself. But that is a very good battle that you're watching there. I should update you that the battle over 8th is now incredibly close here between Esteban Palacio, John Sportelli, Laurent Weisman, and Marty Urin, all within a second, battling hard. Aaron Parsons into the pits, Al.
So Parsons the first to act. I was just going to mention we are about 28 minutes into this race. So Parsons the first guy to enter. As the pit window now for these guys has opened up. Houston staying out, Parsons' teammate. David Poole into the pit lane.
Oh, important stops for these guys. None more so important than just right at the top of this grid and those top 4 guys. Very important stop.
So this battle between Wilkerson, Triana, both Trianas actually, and Kevin Miller. This battle has been waging for quite some time. Miller finds himself now up into the points. Jump on board with Dan Wilkerson.
Boy, it took a little longer than I thought, but I think Alex White finally has slipped off the pace a little bit. So he held actually very good pace almost the whole stint. A few pressure adjustments, Alex White may be good to go and hold great pace the whole second stint.
Watching Felipe Triana chase down his brother Rodrigo Triana on different teams. So the whole family thing gets thrown out the window.
Oh, you bet. Andres into the pits. Oh, they're all coming in.
Triana looking to make a move on Miller. This battle is intense. Triana, is he going to get it done? He stuffs it in there. Miller does a good job. Ooh, they touch a little bit. Miller's got a little jittery action going on with his car. But Triana gets the job done. It's Felipe now looking for an opening. Houston now into the pit lane. Joe LaCour has stayed out, so he's currently leading. Savoy, Palacio, Sportelli, Urin.
So it was all 4 of our front.
Prieto.
Sorry, I was all 4 of.
Prieto gets away first. Go ahead, Brad. White.
I was just.
White gets out just ahead of Moses. Oh, Moses must be gutted to see that. And Monroy. And Parsons may have a run on Monroy now, entering turn 1. So Parsons quickly injects himself into this battle. Go ahead, Brad. Sorry.
No, that's fine. We'll just stick with what we got. Fuel economy playing the role for Alex White there, able to get ahead of Chris Moses. Now, I don't know if Chris Moses is going to have anything for him here in this second stint.
Well, he's got some lap traffic up ahead. So, actually, no, that car's that's for position. So that could help him.
Yeah, Andres Prieto and Alex White, about the same gap between them as when they came into the pits. A little over 3 seconds. I tell you, looking back, it was not a bad stop for Juan Monroy, though, either. So it didn't do a bad job in the... Oops, we have a pass. Oh, I'm sorry, that's lap traffic. Juan Monroy making a good pit stop as well.
So Kevin Miller, that is for position, but Miller still has yet to pit as Moses looking to make his way by. This is only going to help White, as White now able to put give himself a little bit of gap over Moses, as Miller not making it as easy for Moses as he did for White. As Moses, you can see, is getting a bit frustrated as Miller now dives into the pit lane. But Monroy now all over the back, as is Parsons. Wow, as Monroy's going to have a look on the inside of Moses and gets the pass made. Wow. So now Parsons going to get a run on Moses. Man, that Aston that was holding Moses up, that really killed him. As see if Moses is able to hang on to this spot. He does not. So just like that, Moses loses 2 positions. Unbelievable.
Boy, he sure does, and what a coup for Alex White here, able to get out in front, get a little bit of heat taken off of him, and try to run down Andres Prieto, who does seem to hold the advantage on overall pace. Wow.
So Moses, I see a little damage on the right side of his car. Not sure where that came from, but didn't see any contact. But further back, Halili. Actually, let's see what's going on out front as Jolicoeur finally brings it in, as has Savoie. Well, Savoie is still out there. He is currently leading this race. So,
yeah, last time by for Kevin Savoie was a 2-minute 1-second lap. Bit off the pace, but
now this is one of these fuel economy cars, and this is a car he could stretch out here. He will have to make a pit stop. However, this pit lane is relatively short.
yeah, it could help. It's just that you do give up quite a bit of track time relative to having fresh tires on this particular track.
We'll have to wait and see what kind of tactics Savoy employs here.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the car doesn't look too bad at the moment. He is still turning respectable lap times. The track temperature, however, has gone up to 103 degrees, so it's warming up a little bit out there.
So a lot of guys in the pit lane: Lugnuts, Connie, Monahan, Triana, Wilkerson. Still have Savoie, Sportelli, Myers, Vassman. All have yet to pit. And let's see, Savoie's gap to Prieto is only 32 seconds, so yeah, I wouldn't make, if that gap was a bit larger, he could try and gamble with the different type of strategy here, but it's just not enough time to get in and out. Ahead.
Yep. Well, some frantic action. Yeah, some frantic action right there after stops out. Oh, shoot, I'm just noticing the battle over 13. David Poole has had a spin here. A half spin from the 14th position, Esteban Palacio, and
Houston looks like
John Houston.
So Houston just rejoins in 15th. He was off track, spun as well, so I'm not sure what went on there. Just picked it up late.
Yeah, I'll notice that they were on exactly the same time. They're on timing and scoring, flipped to it, but just not quite quick enough.
Tell you what, not sure if Halili has pitted or not, but he's currently 11th.
Kreshnik Halili has not yet pitted.
Okay. But Jolicoeur rejoins in 10th. Bassman now in the pit lane. Sportelli exiting now, rejoining in 8th. We just saw a glimpse as Bassman was in the pit lane. We saw Jaime Moore parked in the garage, so Jaime Moore unfortunately unable to continue.
Yeah, Laurent, of course, was running there in the top 10. He's going to slip well off that, and I noticed a couple laps. Looks like he had a few off-track excursions there before his stop, so Laurent Bassman sliding down the order.
I'm not sure what happened here. We missed it, but Aaron Parsons has lost now the position to Moses, and has lost a couple, 4 seconds back now, so not sure if Parsons had an off or what the deal is there, but Moses is back behind Monroy, so he's made a position back up and is now trying to get to work on Monroy for that other position he lost.
2-minute, 5-second lap that last time by for Aaron Parsons, so yeah, I got to think that he took it off track for a couple seconds.
Now Sportelli with a coup. Getting out in front of Jolicoeur after stop, so Ian and Sportelli going at it. Jolicoeur having a look on the inside of Sporto. Is he going to get it done? Not tonight. Sportelli is well known to have one of the widest cars in the league.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So let's jump on board with Jolicoeur as he tries to make a move on Sporto. He might have a run on him here going into 1. Really got a good exit off that final corner. And looks like Jolicoeur is going to get it done. He does. So Sporto unable to answer that pace from Jolicoeur.
You know, I don't think that's going to make John too upset. He has quite a decent gap to 11th. Kreshnik Halili is within shouting distance of him, but of course Kreshnik will still have to pit yet. So John Sportelli in good shape to try to pick up the top 10 here. I think that's what he's focused on at the moment.
So this after stops here, the field's kind of separated itself a little bit. Marty Uran running 11th. Esteban 12th. David Rowley now up to 13th. He pitted very early, I'm assuming, because he was back at 31st. Now running in 13th with John Houston all over his bumper. Ooh, nice slide by Houston.
Yeah, indeed. It was an early stop for David Rowley. He has been turning in the 2-minute, 1-second range here for quite a while, but they've been very consistent lap.
And Laurent Bassman back in 15th with David Poole right behind him. So Bassman and Poole now having quite the battle. David Poole involved in a couple incidents tonight.
Well, I got to mention real quick, Al, that Andres Prieto has turned the fast lap with a 58.8. I'm sorry, Alex White with a 58.7. Andres Prieto turning that 58.8, and both these guys are just laying down the law. Alex White's doing absolutely everything he can, but I gotta wonder if it's gonna hurt him here with some extra tire wear toward the end of this stint. These guys are really flogging the horses right now. As
Prieto running 3rd and White fourth on track. We have Savoy and Greg Myers who have yet to pit, so they're really stretching out their first stint. Monroy still maintaining that gap over Chris Moses. About a couple seconds. As Aaron Parsons is unable to, has been unable to claw back into that lead he gave up to Moses. So we'll keep an eye on those guys. Let's take a look further back here as we have some action in and further back in the field. As Sporto gave up that position to Joe Licor, and wow, Joe Licor has driven away since getting by Sportelli. He's going to have to keep an eye on Uren, who's going to start closing the gap soon on Sporto. Palacio hanging in there in 12th. Houston looks like has gotten past David Rowley. Now Rowley under intense pressure from David Poole and Laurent Vassman, as Poole looking on the inside of Vassman. Vassman hanging onto that spot, but Rowley's gonna be under a lot of pressure here. Ooh, as Poole nearly gets into the back of Vassman. I don't know. Not sure what happened there with Poole. It looks like he might have just had a bit of a brain fade. Maybe forgot where to brake, but did a good job avoiding getting into Vassman.
Yeah, tough to tell on the broadcast sometimes if a guy is kind of unexpectedly checked up or maybe dove onto the racing line, things like this. So hard to say for sure, but boy, a dismal night for David Poole continued.
So he gave up a
very rare
couple spots there to Lugnutz and Marco Conti. And Poole back in 18th now. As Vassman now having a run on Rally. See a lot of passes get done on the outside here in this corner, and it looks like Vassman's going to get the job done. So it looks like that's where you want to be if you're going to make a move on somebody.
Well, those are important positions for everybody chasing this WWLR 17. That's for sure. Every position David Rowley finishes behind somebody else, the more points everybody else picks up. Gregory Myers finally coming into the pits here. 20 laps into this event.
So Johnny Lugnutz now and Marco Conti duking it out for that final points paying position. On board with Johnny. Ooh, I'm not sure if there was contact there, but it was awfully close. There was a lot of smoke, I know that. Johnny taking a look on the inside at... Ooh, is Marco going to hang on to it? He does.
Boy, that track temperature does continue to climb a bit now, 108 degrees Fahrenheit. So I got to think these guys are going to be squiggling around on these tires a little bit more.
Johnny unable to get by Conti for that 16th spot. So this is going to be a battle we're going to have to keep our eye on here.
Yeah, Gregory Myers rejoins the circuit in 12th position, so a good strategy call by Gregory Myers. Picked up a few spots.
Yeah, pretty quick stop for Greg. Got to wonder if he's double stinting tires. I'm not sure if that's something he'd be able to get away with, but knowing Greg, that's something he'd try.
Yeah, I'll have to see when this lap time's completed to get a sense of how much time you spend in the pit.
Boy, really, Johnny all over the back of Marco. Ooh, Marco with a huge slide. Saves the car. So, Marco feeling the heat. What a battle here for this 16th spot.
Oh, I just caught on timing and scoring here, Al. Jaime Moore has retired with an engine. I don't know if that was a result of that incident with the wall or not, but surely didn't help him. So Jaime Moore out of this race. That's sad.
Yeah, the front of that Porsche was destroyed. As Mikey Monahan now back at 21st. So Mikey having a tough night for Chow Mein Moto. Dan Wilkerson running 22nd. This battle with Wilkerson, Triana, Story involved now, Trussler. These guys have been going at it most of the night. A little more separation than in the first stint. As these guys are about to get put a lap down by Savoy, who continues to lead this race.
Yeah, Krishna Khalili just now coming into the pits on lap 22, so we'll see when Kevin Savoy finally completes our pit stop rotation here. Krishna Khalili, I do not believe, took tires. Fuel only for Krishna.
Mascarelli running 26th. Rodriguez up to 27th. And Jack Ivey running 28th. Christian Hamilton 29th. He had some serious damage he needed repairing on early in the first stint, so more or less a test session for Christian here tonight. As Savoy finally brings it into the pit lane, and Prieto is going to get by. We're going to see how long Savoy sits in the pits for, and if he decides to take tires. He doesn't. So a quick gas and go, no tire change for Savoy. He's going to rejoin in, looks like 6th. Well, maybe 7th as Jolie Core. Oh, he's going to get out ahead of Jolie Core.
Yeah, I was keeping a real close eye on Jolie Core's lap times, and I figured it'd be close. I thought actually Ian would be able to get past Kevin, but a great strategy call by Kevin. Well done.
So we're currently working lap 24 of what will be a 30-lap race. So, really gutsy move by Savoy. And right now it looks to be, looks like it was the right call for him. Oh. Joe LaCour, a couple of Canadians going at it.
Well, Kevin will certainly be giving up some on-track pace with those double-stinted tires, of course. But hey, if you're out front, then you have the advantage.
So Joe LaCour is going to have a run on Savoy going into turn 11. So looks like Savoy's not going to put up much of a fight there on Joe LaCour. He's definitely got pace on him. So that'll drop Savoy down to 7th. So Monroy really with a huge gap over Moses now for that 3rd spot. So great drive getting put in here by Juan Monroy, who qualified 3rd, is running 3rd.
I have to tell you, I've been watching Juan Monroy's lap times very closely, especially in relation to Alex White. I think Alex White flogging those tires has done some damage, whereas Juan Monroy has been turning just incredibly consistent laps. I don't think there's going to be enough laps here to catch Alex White in the end, but Juan Monroy has done a fantastic job maintaining that gap. Boy, it's just great. Keeping an eye on his tires and turning nice, consistent, clean laps. It's really impressed with this drive by Juan Monroy.
So the gap between White and Monroy is 4 seconds and dropping. So, yeah, Brad, that's something you're going to have to keep an eye on for us.
I have been since pit stops.
So Moses looks like he's lost a bit of time to Parsons, who's running in P5, but Jolicoeur, after getting by Savoy, has again pulled away. Savoy dealing with some lap traffic. Sportelli running a solid 8th position in his substitute role here tonight for Schubeck.
Yeah, and if I could just jump in on that real quick, Al, I'm sorry. Marty Uran is turning laps about 1.5 seconds faster a lap at the moment over John Sportelli, so that could be a battle that brews here toward the end.
So we did just pick up Uran, and certainly Uran can see Sportelli in the distance. So no doubt Uran is going to be pushing a lot harder to try and catch up to Sporto. Palacio quietly running in P10.
It looks like it was a double stint for John Sportelli, Al.
So Sportelli probably regretting the decision to substitute for Schubeck, as that car is probably more than a handful if he's double stinting tires.
Well, still has a great shot to, like I say, he holds the advantage. He's ahead of those guys behind him, and still a great shot to hold on to a top 10 if all else fails. The laps are winding down quickly.
Meanwhile, Houston and Vassman, looks like Vassman has jumped out ahead of Houston. So I'm not sure if Houston made a mistake or Vassman made the pass on track. Gotta give it to Vassman. He's put in a pretty decent run here tonight, currently 12th. And we've seen a couple nice moves by him. Nice pass on Rally earlier on.
Yeah, and Laurent, if memory serves, did slip back just outside the points there for a little while. So he has had to put in some work. Nice drive indeed.
So we got a battle here for 16th as Rally running in that final points position, and we were watching this battle earlier between Conti and Johnny Lugnuts, and it still rages on. Johnny just unable to get by Marco. Ooh, Johnny with a big lurch. Saw Marco sliding the Lamborghini everywhere, and just Johnny unable to take advantage. David Poole right there in 17th, so Rally's gonna really need to work on holding that last points paying position, because Team Columbia is set for a huge night tonight.
Aaron Parsons was actually closing the gap a little bit to 4th place Chris Moses, and he nearly threw it off track and destroyed his Audi. Track temp now 114 degrees. I think the guys are feeling the heat.
Oh, it really has gotten toasty out there as Prieto continues to lead a couple seconds over over White, Monroy. Yeah, it looks like Monroy is now starting to close that gap on White a little more. This would be huge for Team Columbia if they can get a 1-2 tonight after WWRL7 did it last week.
Yeah, working lap 36 at the moment, so quickly running out of laps here for Juan Monroy. I don't know that he's going to be able to overcome the type of consistency Alex White can turn in, even if Alex White is around the just over the 2-minute range. But Juan Monroy still into the 59s, 59.7 last time by.
So checking back in with that Connie Lugnut's battle, and we also have a pool rally fight going on as Lugnuts, is he going to get it done this time around? No. Oh, Johnny with a huge slide. He's doing everything he can to get by Marco. Marco also doing a great job holding on to that spot. Poole on the inside, a rally for that final spot. Gets it done. That's where Poole had that incident with Moore earlier on. Oh, looks like someone might have gone off. Lugnuts. Lugnuts went off. We missed it. Looks like he tried to make a move on Connie. We saw a bunch of debris in the air, and wow, just like that, Johnny's out of the points, rallies back in. And it looks like Rally is struggling with that BMW. He's getting... This is a long stint for him.
Boy, exciting stuff back there, and suddenly it's starting to become exciting stuff up toward the front where Juan Monroy now is just about a second and a half off Alex White's bumper. Working now lap 28.
So this race will go 30.
Oh! Marty Uren and John Sportelli have had some type of coming together as Marty was closing in on John. Just caught the tail end of that, but there was definitely contact. Marty Uren up to 8th. And Esteban will look at John Sportelli for that 9th position. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Sporto's too happy with that, so it looks like Marty might have caused some problems there once again. Had an incident last week. We have another one this week. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and that elevated pace by Alex White now really starting to hurt him a little bit. Juan Monroy within 1 second. Oh, as he has a huge slide. And that is going to give Alex some breathing room there for that second spot. Juan Monroy is closing in, just cooked it a little too deep. And that may end Juan Monroy's hope for a 1-2 Team Columbia finish.
Just the breathing room White needed. So I'd be interested to see what happened there between Uren and Sportelli.
Yeah, indeed. Esteban Palacio now taking a look at Sportelli as well. And makes the pass for 9th position, but they are still fighting side by side.
Triana's DNF'd. They're going to be working lap 20... lap 30 here. Final lap of the race. Parsons within about a second to 2 seconds of Moses. So Palacio and Sportelli going at it. Sportelli's still flashing the lights. Maybe looked like he was flashing, but he was really giving Marty the business after that incident. Rick Myers in 11th, so Greg's pit strategy paid off for him. Vassman 12th. Houston is running 13th. Connie and Poole. Looks like David Poole has gotten by Rally. Oh, what happened to Lugnuts? Lugnuts was having such a great race. So Rally 16th, and Kevin Miller just one spot out of the points at 17th. But with our leader. There's a few corners yet to go here. What could have been Monroy with that huge mistake? Well, really not huge, but just enough of a time loss that really knocked any hopes he had of finishing up ahead of White. Sorry, Brad.
Yeah, no, that's fine, Al. You know, Juan Monroy hasn't been in this position a whole bunch of times. I think he is pushing for everything he was worth, and just pushed a little over the line. He would have had time to make a run as Andres Prieto crosses the line.
White takes second. Monroy will take third. Let's see if Chris Moses can hang on to this fourth spot. So Moses is going to hang on to it. Parsons fifth. So Jolie Core is going to take sixth. Really quiet run for the most part for Jolie Core. Solid finish. Watching Savoie now. He should finish in seventh as Marty now started. I guess if a few more laps, Marty may have had a run on Savoie, but not going to happen. Marty 8th. Palacio 9th. Sportelli is going to take 10th. Greg Myers and John Houston 11th and 12th. A good run for both those guys. Vassman. Oh, is Vassman... What happened here? Vassman's out of gas!
Oh, no.
Vassman rolls across the line at 16th. Out of gas. Wow.
You know, I was just gonna say, Al, we got a few guys coming in. Oh, David Poole, DNF.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but David Poole escaped before he crossed the line, so... Well, a lot of confusion there in the back. We got a couple guys still running here, I believe.
Dan Wilkerson, I think, is going to be the last car on the lead lap. He's crossing the line now. Well, very interesting. I was just going to say what a great run it was, really, for the French Connection all told, with Kevin Savoie in 7th and Laurent Vassman finishing 12th, but Laurent kind of let that go to pot there right on the last couple corners. Too bad.
Well, with our winner, Andres Prieto. Andre, do you copy?
Yeah, I copy. Paul, how are you?
Good. Congratulations. Great win here tonight. Great race to watch. That was a very tight first stint there between you, Moses, and Alex White, but another great start for you. How did the race go?
No, it was nice. The first stint, I was hoping that Juan could put a little bit of pressure on Chris and Alex, so I can manage a little bit of a gap. And they battle a bit, so I managed a little gap on the first stint. Then the pit stop when normally Alex went by, and he was really fast at the second stint. So I had to push a lot at the second stint also. I'm very tired because of that. I don't know how he does it with 70 kilos on.
Yeah, I was really watching that battle in the second stint myself. You guys are really flogging the cars like dead horses or something out there. Those must have been some tense moments trying to maintain that type of pace.
Yeah, it was after I managed the gap on the first stint when they started battling. I thought that that second stint was gonna be a little bit easier. Well, not easier, but easy. But it wasn't. It was worst.
Well, it was a great finish for both you and Juan, and looks like you guys are going to take over the lead in the team championship. So Rally struggled finishing 15th to 16th, so good job by Juan to take that third spot, passing Moses and moving up to the podium. So great night for you and for Team Columbia as well.
Yeah, we're gonna fight again. We hope to defend both championships, and we really need to work on practicing for that's like our objective. So we're working on it.
Well, great run, Andres. Congrats.
Yep, good job, Andre. Congratulations, and good luck next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one with all the weight, but thank you.
Well, there you have it. Andres Prieto, our winner. And was a pretty exciting race tonight. A lot of battles up and down the grid. And it's pretty exciting finishes there.
Yeah, some interesting storylines, particularly in that team classification with, as you say, Team Columbia taking the lead. But, you know, PMR and TBROK Dam Bam, neither of them hurt their points position here in that team classification either, with strong finishes by all four of those drivers within those two teams.
Yep, so all teams doing well here tonight, finishing in the points. So be interesting as we head into Monza next week. That's going to be a track where we expect the McLarens to do very well there, and Mercedes. So very fast track as we reach the halfway point of the season. So really looking forward to that one. And looking forward to see how the team championship shapes up after that round. So, as well as the drivers' championship. Andre unable to able to gain some points on White, but still White with the phenomenal finish to finish second with all that weight. So, going to be interesting for sure next week. But thanks again, Brad, for joining me here tonight. Thanks everybody who tuned in. We'll be back next week for Monza round 5, and if you're around Thursday night, feel free to tune in for GT1 from Hockenheim as John Houston and Ken Rodriguez bring you complete coverage of that race starting at 9. So until then, we'll see you next week from Monza. Thanks again.